Waiting. It's something we all experience, but it's rarely easy. Whether it's a goal, a prayer, or a hope you've held onto, waiting can test our patience like nothing else. But what if the delay you're experiencing isn't just empty time? What if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is working behind the scenes, arranging something even better than you had planned? In this video, we'll explore 5 reasons why Allah may be delaying your plans and why this waiting period could be the most important part of your journey. So, before we dive in, take a moment to set aside any distractions. These reasons may help you understand that the delay is not a setback, but part of Allah's purpose for you. First reason, building your patience and trust. One of the main reasons Allah may delay your plans is to help you develop patience and a stronger trust in Him. When things don't happen immediately, it's natural to feel frustrated or even wonder if your prayer was heard. But this waiting period is actually a time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is strengthening your patience and teaching you to rely on Him fully. The Quran says in Surah Al-Baqarah, "Indeed, Allah is with the patient." This ayah reminds us that patience isn't just about enduring the wait. It's about deepening our trust in Allah's timing, knowing that He has wisdom in every delay. So what does Allah's timing really mean? It's about understanding that Allah knows the exact moment that's best for everything in our lives. Our timing is limited by what we want right now. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's timing takes into account everything. Our past, present, and future, as well as how each decision will impact us and those around us. Allah's timing is a perfect blend of wisdom, compassion, and purpose, even if we can't see it yet. You might ask, why doesn't Allah just give me what I want right now? The truth is, if everything came instantly, we might not develop the patience, resilience, or faith needed to handle those blessings. Allah knows that some things take time, and during this period, He's teaching you that the journey itself is valuable, helping you build a trust in Him that goes beyond immediate results. Each moment of waiting is an opportunity to strengthen your bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, allowing you to feel peace in knowing that He has everything perfectly planned. Second reason, protecting you from harm. Another reason why Allah may delay your plans is to protect you from something you might not see. Sometimes we're so focused on what we want that we don't realize it may not be what we truly need. Or worse, it could bring more harm than good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His wisdom, knows what's ahead. And sometimes He holds us back to shield us from situations or outcomes that we may not understand right now. The Quran says, "But perhaps you hate a thing, and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you know not." This ayah reminds us that we only see part of the picture, while Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees it all. His delay could very well be His way of steering us away from something that isn't beneficial in the long run. Some may wonder, why does Allah let me desire something so deeply if it isn't good for me? Desire is natural, and it often leads us to strive and grow. But sometimes Allah places a delay to give us the time and perspective we need to understand what's truly best for us. By holding us back momentarily, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may be protecting us from outcomes that we don't have the foresight to avoid on our own. So, if you find doors closing or delays occurring, remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your greatest protector. What feels like a setback now could actually be Him safeguarding you from something you'll look back on and be grateful for. Third reason, preparing you for something greater. My brother and sister, sometimes, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delays your plans, it's because He's preparing you for something far greater than what you originally asked for. You may feel ready, but Allah knows what you need to become the person who can handle the blessings He has in store. He may delay your plans to help you grow in ways that make you ready to embrace something bigger and better than you had imagined. The Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. This ayah assures us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our capacity, And He delays things not to withhold blessings, but to prepare us to receive them fully. Many people today are asking, why is it that I work hard, I pray, I do my best, yet I still don't see results, while others, who may not even believe, seem to achieve success so easily? But, my brother and sister, the journey Allah takes you on isn't only about the destination, it's about what you become along the way. Allah may be growing your patience, strengthening your resilience, and sharpening your perspective, so that when you finally receive what you've prayed for, you're truly ready to handle it. So, when you're feeling the weight of waiting, remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is molding you for something greater. The delay is His way of building you up, ensuring that you're prepared to receive the blessings that align with your true purpose. Fourth reason, strengthening your faith and relationship with Allah. Sometimes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delays what you've been praying for to bring you closer to Him. My brother and sister, during this waiting period, you may find yourself turning to Allah more than ever before, making dua with sincerity, reflecting on His wisdom, and seeking His guidance. This delay isn't a denial. It's Allah's way of helping you develop a deeper, more resilient faith. Think about the devotion of the Sahaba Raziallahu. Many of us say, I've prayed, I've performed tahajjud, I recite the Quran regularly. Why isn't my prayer answered yet? But have you ever reflected on the incredible level of worship the Sahaba Raziallahu achieved? They prayed with such sincerity and intensity that their entire being was immersed in devotion. They performed acts of worship with hearts that held unwavering faith and reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even during the toughest trials. If we compare our efforts to theirs, it's humbling. The Sahaba Raziallahu would pray not only to fulfill a duty, but with complete submission, striving to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with every breath. Their dedication was unparalleled, reminding us that true faith often requires us to keep striving, even when things seem delayed. This is Allah's way of helping us grow closer to Him, allowing us to purify our hearts and seek Him with genuine devotion. The Prophet Ayub alayhi salam is a beautiful example of this. Despite years of hardship, he never lost hope in Allah's mercy, saying, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Through this period of waiting and trial, Prophet Ayub alayhi salam developed even greater patience, faith, and trust in Allah's plan. So, if you feel your faith deepening during this time, remember that Allah is nurturing you spiritually. The delay is not empty time. It's a period where your heart learns to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely, just as the Sahaba Raziallahu and Prophet Ayub alayhi salam did. It's a reminder to humble ourselves, knowing that each act of worship brings us closer to Allah in ways we may not yet see. Fifth reason, aligning your path with what is best for you. Sometimes, Allah delays what you've been praying for because He's aligning your path with something far better than what you initially asked for. My brother and sister, while we may have the best intentions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His wisdom, knows what truly benefits us in ways we may not understand. Delays are often His way of preparing you and guiding you towards something even more fulfilling. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Allah the Most High says, I am as my servant thinks of me. I am with him when he mentions me. If he mentions me to himself, I mention him to myself. And if he mentions me in an assembly, I mention him in an assembly better than it. If he draws near to me a hand's length, I draw near to him an arm's length. And if he comes to me walking, I go to him running." This hadith beautifully reminds us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is closer to us than we realize, always aware of our hopes, intentions, and struggles. When He delays something, it's not out of disregard, but as part of His plan to bring us closer to Him and to what is truly good for us. Each step of this journey is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guiding you to rely on Him and trust that His timing is perfect. When you feel delays in your plans, think of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. As he fled Egypt, he might have felt lost, but Allah was guiding him to a greater purpose, one he couldn't see at the time. What seemed like a setback was actually a divine redirection. In the same way, Allah's delays are setting you on the right path to something greater. So, when life feels off track, remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is leading you towards something beyond what you may have envisioned. His wisdom in timing is always perfect. In life, the waiting periods can be some of the hardest times to endure. But as we've seen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never delays without purpose. Every moment of patience, every redirection, and every quiet answer is a part of His plan to guide you towards something better. Each of these reasons, whether it's to build your patience, protect you from harm, strengthen your faith, or align you with what's truly best, is a sign of Allah's perfect wisdom and love for His servants. The Quran reminds us, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish His purpose." Trusting in Allah's plan is not about waiting idly, but about believing that with every prayer and every step, you are moving closer to the blessings He has in store for you. If this video has helped you see things a bit more clearly, or brought you some comfort, know that there are many of us walking this path together. Staying connected with this channel can be a reminder that you're not alone in this journey, and it's a chance to keep growing in faith with others who share these same questions and hopes. Liking and sharing this video can also be a way to pass this message on to someone else who might need it. Sometimes, just hearing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is working behind the scenes can bring hope to someone's heart, and together we can help spread that message.